Hi and welcome to the Rural Project. What I'm going to be showing in this video is how I transformed a sloping hill from the photograph on the left to the picture on the right. As you can see, it's quite a complex shape with the contours changing angles as you moved along from the water tank to a suite of steps. So I hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, don't forget to click like and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. So as you can see, what I started with was a complex hill, very overgrown and quite a steep slope on it. What I needed to do was put a retaining wall in there to stop all the soil falling down. The actual retaining wall needed to tie into the tank that you see in the image, but also tying into an existing retaining wall, which is pretty much where the camera position is. So the first thing I had to do was get in there with a brush cutter and clear all the heavy undergrowth that was in the area, and then I started the process of putting in the retaining wall. The first post that I actually came to install, I ended up digging through a water pipe which I didn't know was in that area. I'm still to find out exactly what that water pipe's there for, but nevertheless what I did was I cleared the soil around the pipe and put a repair in place on the pipe, and then set about digging the hole for the first post. All of the holes were dug out by hand using a post hole digger, and that down to roughly sort of 800 to a metre in depth. The posts were set in place using a backfill of soil and then tamping with the end of a shovel to compress the soil and pack it around the post. I didn't bother using any concrete in this area. As you can see, once I had two posts in, I then set about putting in the beams. The beams that I used on this retaining wall were redgum hardwood sleepers. They were 200 by 50mm thickness, 2.4 metres long, and the posts are all pine posts. They're treated to prevent rot and termites eating them. One of the two pipes that I found in this area was for a hosepipe spigot. So what I did was actually connected that up to the retaining wall, as you see here, so we've got a easy connection for a hose pipe for the future. Once I'd got the first sort of section of the retaining wall in, that set all my heights and levels for the rest of the section. So what I did then was continued putting in posts for the next section, and as you can see here, sort of stepping the retaining wall down to match the contour of the hill. Where I had sections of the wall there that appeared to be sort of floating in space, they were fixed in place with bracketry on the back of the beams so that you can't actually see them from the outside, and those brackets will all be hidden behind the retaining wall once the backfill occurs. So what you're seeing now is the third and final straight section being installed. Again, the process here: dig the holes with the post hole digger and set the beams in place. As you can see here, I've got quite a few transitions to support the height change. What I'm also focusing on doing is trying to stagger the joints between the beams so that you actually have a staggered joint line, which looks a little bit nicer and also adds to the strength of the retaining wall. So once we had it all roughly set in place, it was a case of just finally going in there and putting in some extra screws to secure it all and cutting the post down as you saw there. And once that third and final section was complete, it was time to start the transition. That transition required a turn and sort of setting all of the posts and the beams so that they would then tie into an existing retaining wall that was already in the lower section. So what you're seeing here now is this section of retaining wall, because I was tying it into an existing, instead of using the pine posts, I actually used the hardwood sleepers as the posts. And as you can see here, sort of set the posts, same process, backfilled them with soil and compacted them to fix them in place, and then set the 2 rows of sleepers as the beams, tying them in the same height as the existing retaining wall down the bottom. It required a small bit of fine tuning and some chamfers being put on the end of one of the top beams there, but it actually transitioned in quite nicely in the end. And once the posts were cut to the right length, the whole thing looked like quite a nice and neat complete job, and I was really happy with the end results. So don't forget, if you like these videos, please click subscribe and like, and don't forget to hit the bell so that you get informed of future videos that I post online. Thanks for watching wherever you are.